Hey guys, welcome to The Nuance. I'm Ian, and we are back with more Superman and Lois. Last episode we again, I forget. Broken. Sorry. Last episode we found out the onomatopoeia is Peia. Didn't know her name before though. They never mentioned it. But yeah, so found out who she is. Should have. But I guess that's like kind of good writing where it's not like it's obvious, but it's not obvious, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. Regardless, you know, she's kind of trying to finagle Lois a little bit. Clark is like, he was having issues kind of accepting the possibility that you know, the fact that Lois might not beat it is a possibility. Because that's just how life is, unfortunately. We also had the bit with Soph. I did try to keep some of that in, but it was just really hard editing this whole thing down. They just don't like me, YouTube. a lot of the footage just ends up having to be blurred even after editing it down anyway. So apologies for that. But anyway, Jordan was able to stop Onomatopoeia and some of other Mannheim's crew from killing Clark. Turns out kryptonite doesn't affect him as much, which makes sense. But it does affect him a little bit. I'm just curious as to, like, to what effect and like what other kryptonites. I mean, we also haven't really seen. I think there has been mention of red kryptonite, or at least an insinuation of its effects. So there was an insinuation. I think it was season 1 of Clark having been affected by red kryptonite before. So I don't know if, you know, that would still affect Jordan differently as well, or if it would just be like a lesser version. I don't know to what extent they're going for. Jonathan's moving up in the firefighter world, so kudos to him. We haven't seen John Henry and Natalie in a minute. What was it? Last episode? Not last episode. Whenever we had the dance. Last episode? And Matteo. So a little worried about that, but hopefully, you know, Natalie's in the clear. Matteo's in the clear, I mean. Natalie's going to be fine. And she'll have some kind of a break from the madness. Oh, and I don't know if the bizarre thing's going to be a thing, but who knows.
I stained another one of your shirts.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, come on. You just... Blah.
Let me guess, more town hall construction delays?
I mean, this contractor thinks I'll back down just because I'm a woman.
What? Best of 3, Soph?
Pickup order?
Look, well, Sarah seems to be taking it all right. She knows. Seems to be all right with it.
Here you go, hon. Egg white omelet, order of sausage and biscuits, extra gravy.
Okay, well, have a great day.
Guess they...
We know you already have.
Well, all right, Sarah.
Percy.
I mean, that makes...
It's okay.
Maybe she's not okay with it, quite, per se.
Don't ever do that again.
Clark's the best.
My husband's the same way.
Yeah? How so?
Just... They'd do anything for me.
Okay, yeah.
I can't keep doing this, Bruno. It's too dangerous.
It's just a dinner.
John, come on. What? No, dude, I'm not leaving until I get some answers. Why can't you help our mom?
Because I don't believe she has the proper makeup to withstand Kryptonian procedures.
But you don't believe?
Gotcha.
Or you just
That
assumed because she's
makes
human?
sense.
The risk is too great.
It's worth a shot.
My technology could kill her.
She might die anyway.
Enough!
We were just trying to help, which is what you should have been here doing the entire time.
Excuse me?
But there's Kryptonian science that we're not even using.
Jonathan, I explained the dangers.
No. You just explained why our dad was scared.
Dude, stop it right there.
I understand you're worried about your mom, but don't you dare act like I don't care just as much as you. Do you understand me? Do you?
Hey, I've been meaning to ask you about Bruno Mannheim. Living here your whole life. You must have met him.
We both
Nah.
know that Alexis.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you interrogating me?
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up.
You know what? This is my last treatment. I don't feel great. I'm gonna go sit over there and close my eyes. Please don't follow me.
Okay.
Well, she knows something's up too. She might give us a bit of information, or she's thinking Lois is a bit too much. One of the two.
Right after you left, I started asking Peia about Bruno, and it got ugly.
I'm sure it wasn't that bad.
She walked away from me with her chemo card to be as far away as possible
Sorry.
because I am a horrible human being.
Lois.
What am I doing? I don't trust my instincts anymore, especially as a
No.
reporter.
Lois, you've been right this whole time. Bruno is hiding something, and you're so close to figuring it out. I think you might just need a little help.
Clark and
Help
Lois
from
duo.
Mr. Johnson.
Very cool, Dad. See how this goes.
Matteo. Nice to meet you.
Matteo.
Wow, you look stunning.
Thanks.
Oh no, oh no,
you're
oh
hungry.
no. Don't freak out. Don't freak out.
Your parents okay with you making the trek back and forth to Metropolis?
Here we
alone?
go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they trust me.
It's not that far.
It's far enough.
Dad.
Tell me about this party where you met Natalie.
I mean, it was just a couple of friends hanging.
With the parents out of town, right?
Sir, I'm sorry if you think
No,
that...
don't apologize. We're going to the movie. Thanks for ruining lunch.
Thank you for the lunch. It was really delicious.
Could have gone worse. You know, admittedly could have gone worse.
I don't want to just be cancer friends, though. I want to be friends.
What does that even mean? I mean, do we need like matching bracelets?
No, I was thinking necklaces.
This.
Oh my god, it's like a candy shop in here.
Yeah, well, why pay movie theater prices for what you can just sneak in yourself?
Well, you can't sneak it
these
in and
gummies
pull it all
look
out.
good. Oh my god, no, those aren't for sharing. No.
Sarah?
Oh my god, you're a stoner.
No, this is so inappropriate. Please don't tell your dad about this.
Oh my god, my dad's dating a stoner. Where'd you even get those?
Isn't risking a few lives for a breakthrough that could save millions worth it?
But jeopardizing even one life is...
How could you even look me in the eye and say you'd do anything for Lois?
Because I would.
Then admit that I'm right. This is your wife we're talking about.
I'm not sure that it is. This is personal for you.
Don't go making assumptions.
No, it's why you bought the hospital, why you're experimenting on criminals. Someone you care about is sick.
I can't do this anymore. This wasn't supposed to happen. You and me, we weren't supposed to become friends.
Uh-oh.
Everything I told you was real about me, about how I was feeling. I just didn't tell you about him.
My whole life, people have judged me, thinking the worst. I just didn't want them thinking the same way about Peia.
She still killed somebody, though. As did he. They both killed people.
All right, let's ring this damn bell. Say it with me, people. Screw cancer.
Screw cancer.
Your Nat's first boyfriend.
which means you're the first boyfriend I have had to deal with.
And I totally get that. And
And despite your need to always give the right answer, I can tell you're a good kid.
My mom, she raised me to respect women. If I were to ever disrespect Nat, I'd be more afraid of her than you.
Mom sounds like a good woman.
Maybe you can meet her one day.
Take it one step at a time.
Yes, sir.
Who's your mom? Who's your paps?
You lied to us about how bad this is.
Boys.
These are end-of-life documents, Mom. This is your will. You wrote goodbye letters, Mom. We hear you getting sick. We see you losing your hair, not eating, not drinking, weak, but you never talk to us about anything. And when we try to get help from your mom about what is going on, you get mad at us? I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Jonathan, look, you have to...
What, Dad? Have hope? Just believe that somehow everything is gonna work out fine. You know, maybe that works for you as a Kryptonian, but us humans like Mom and me, we can't. Because hope didn't stop your dad from having a heart attack. It didn't stop your mom from having a stroke, and the last time that I checked, hope doesn't cure cancer.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Come here. This kind of cancer is really bad.
Okay, then why not use technology from the fortress? Yeah, there might be something there that can help you.
Because if we use it to help your mom, it wouldn't be fair to keep it from anyone else. And sharing Kryptonian technology here, the risk to the greater good is just far too high.
What if the chemo's not enough?
And we're all just gonna have to accept that. I love you both so much. More than anything in the world.
I want you to remember that you are just as much Kryptonian as your brother. And he's just as human as you are.
Probably Walnuts and Gator.
No, that's Lana. Sarah.
That's Sarah. Okay, remember we gotta get out of there before the sheriff shows up. That's sweet.
Yeah. Make a life with me, Peia. Peia, make a city. Forever and always. Now. Peia, do it now.
Okay. Didn't show that one.
Mom? Mom, are you here?
There it is.
We're in the dining room.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Mom, I'm telling you, she is the one.
Damn it, he's a nice kid.
Please. Dad, you'll see. I was actually wanting to invite Natalie over to Little Oasis. You two have to meet her.
Well, yeah. Okay. I haven't seen what it looks like when she uses her powers without the mask. Wondering if she needs the mask now because of the fact that her powers are probably have been fading, or it's more so to focus them and to alternate them. Because the mask, since that shifts to do different things, I'm wondering if beforehand she just did the, sonic blast thing. And now Matteo, unfortunately a good kid. Hold on, you know what I mean. Gonna bring John Henry's daughter, Bruno. like, Bruno's not, look, he still's done bad things. Like, both of them have done bad things. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, I know Lois knows this, that, you know, even though he is doing this for his wife, he's still done, you know, he still works for, for or, you know, leads Intergang. So, you know, doesn't relieve him of all that stuff. So at the very least, Matteo's a good kid. So that's good. Well, so his mom, oh boy. Maybe you can meet my mom one day. Well, I already have, actually. She's also already met my doppelganger. Killed him, too, by the way. I'm wondering if John joined Bruno to help. Because Bruno had mentioned that, like, even John of this Earth, John Henry wanted to, you know, he wanted to be a hero. He wanted to help people. So I'm assuming maybe he originally joined up with Bruno to, you know, help with Bruno's, like, goal of wanting to make the city better, make his town better. See, like, maybe it wasn't all blackmail, and then when he realized what was going on, what he was doing, he was like, I don't want to do this. This isn't how I want to do things. And then he started blackmailing him, but then was, you know, fed up with it anyway, and then he was killed off by Peia. Wasn't expecting them to find, like, well, maybe for her to find. I wasn't expecting all that to be revealed within the episode. I mean, granted, I know these seasons, like Superman and Lois, their seasons are always shorter and more concise. Well, I guess we are about halfway done, so I guess that makes sense. Would this be the mid-season finale? No, that can't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Well, I was gonna say, because they would normally take a break if it's the mid-season finale, but maybe last episode was the mid-season finale? When was the break? There's not going to be any breaks for the next few episodes, next few weeks, so I don't know if that's supposed to be... Like, because again, they've already finished filming the whole of the season, so I don't know if they're going to take that mid-season finale break, or if they're just going to pump them out as quickly as they can, taking breaks when they need to, you know, finish editing things up and whatnot, or if something else gets in the way, like scheduling of on the CW or whatever. Oh man, these episodes have been such a pain to edit. Freaking, why does it have to be a good show? The bit with where John, like, you knew he wasn't gonna be cool dad. I mean, he's going to be protective of daughter dad. You know, that's just how it is. First boyfriend, come on, you're not gonna be cool dad. It's just inevitable. I'm sorry. As much as you'd want to be, it's just gonna happen. At the very least, he didn't pull out the suit to freak him out, because as much as dads like to, there's that stereotype of them shining their gun and whatnot, or cleaning their gun. Sorry, you know what I mean. In some way, showing the gun to the kid. The suit would be terrifying. Granted, he does not, that's got to be a secret. So, but you never know. Protective dad might just be like, hey, kid, so this is supposed to be like a secret. Nobody's supposed to know about this, but you're my daughter. I got this. I've got a freaking Arsenal armor suit, so watch yourself. But even afterwards, he was like, what just happened? Did I just lose it? Literally right after, he's like, I can't believe, like, even, he didn't go to Lana and just be like, I can't believe this, they did this and that, or, I can't believe she left, or whatever, I can't believe blah, 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 blah. It was just like, I don't know what happened. I completely lost it. Cool dad never showed up. He just was not there. So, I do like that he realized the issue, and like, it wasn't like immediate, turnaround. He's still definitely working on it. Like, when he saw them kissing, he almost went, cool dad was almost out. was a little more understanding this time. Like he was wanting her to have a normal teenage life, and then kind of got in the way of that for a little bit. Well, not technically. It was doing the normal father thing, so she had to experience that. So she's living the normal teenage life with protective father included. It's a package deal. That's just how it is. And Matteo is a good kid. Like he was like, this was delicious, thank you, sorry, gotta go, bye. And he kept while John was trying to apologize, he kept trying to, cut in. He's like, dude, pump the brakes, kid. Just let him get his stuff out. And then if you have, something to say, then you can say after he's done, in case. But yeah, I think, I am worried. I'm hoping that regardless of, what happens with maybe there's probably going to be some issues. I hope it doesn't end with him having to, finding out what his parents are and then end up having to, kind of pull away from that because it's hard to deal with the information and stuff. And I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll find out about what his dad, about her dad being Steel, and I don't know. I have no idea if he'll see, maybe accidentally, maybe he'll see Steel attack his parents or something. I don't know. Or at the very least, attack Bruno. Again, Bruno's got his John's family, kind of held hostage. So, he doesn't. Does he? Did he say it was? No, he said not. I don't know. I wonder if. Does Bruno know who he's talking about? Because he knows about. Well, he knows about the family, but because of this Earth, he didn't know. He doesn't know. I don't think he knows that John has a daughter. That this John has a daughter. So there's that. Ooh, boy. But surely Natalie knows Bruno killed John Henry of this Earth, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he didn't tell her. There's a chance John didn't mention that because then, he wouldn't want to worry her about that. So I don't know. I did kind of think that eventually that maybe Peia would break the news to Lois, or she would find out some way, because it did, she did seem to actually like Lois, and she even, I say that, and she even said, this wasn't supposed to happen, we weren't supposed to become friends. She obviously did actually kind of grow to like Lois, not kind of, she grew to like Lois, because how can you not like Lois? Even though she kind of pries a bit too much sometimes, and what's funny is, I know she knows tact. Well, does Lois have to? Lois is always very aggressive when she's kind of interrogating, or when she's going for a story, when she's trying to dig up something. So sometimes that tact will go out the window when she's when her instincts are I'm close to something. And she kept saying her instincts were off, and they don't know she's Peia, that she's onomatopoeia. They don't know what she could do. So there's still that. And they keep mentioning Lex, so I am wondering if we'll see him this season. Please, nobody say anything in the comments. I saw somebody mention something about they were mentioning something. I don't remember what it was. It might have been what I was thinking about. I read some of it saying they confirmed later on, and then I stopped reading that. But just please, for any information that's been already discussed that hasn't been shown within the episodes that's already aired, please don't say anything in the comments. I kind of want to just see it as it comes out on the episodes. That's just kind of how I prefer to take things in. So please just I understand you're excited about it. Just we can discuss that once it's been shown. But that kind of reminds me, well, I'll get to that in a second, but I'm going to assume we're not going to have John Cryer as Lex, as much as I would love to see that. ever get them interacting together? Yeah, we did. I'm sorry, Crisis. We got a little bit of them interacting. I just loved John Cryer as Lex. It's just crazy how good he was. I mean, I never watched the show 2.5 Men. Well, I'd seen in passing, like, scenes with him in it. Very different character. So that's kind of like it was a shock when whenever I saw that he was in the show when he was Lex. Anyway, I would love to have him as Lex, but I don't think that's gonna happen just because, especially since this is supposed to be now like complete like a different thing. Like the John Diggle we're seeing is apparently a different John Diggle. Even though they've mentioned like Oliver, he was a great hero, blah, 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 all this other stuff. It's a really weird, like they're like skirting the line. They're not specifically saying. It's I don't know, because there was like at the end of Crisis or near the end of Crisis, like few minutes in, Clark was flying home and Lois is like, hey, get home, or when you get home, the kids are, blah blah blah. He's like, kids or boys or whatever, because like that had changed or something. Like it wasn't original. It was like they had one kid. I think there was a reason where there's something happened where it had changed from, they had one kid and then it became the boys, twins. Or no, did he say girls? Did something happen? Maybe. Then it would be. Anyway, regardless, it's probably not gonna be John Cryer, as cool as that would be. But what I was wondering, which this might have been what somebody said in the comments, but because again, I saw a glimpse of it. But I'm wondering if the way he kind of was going on, maybe I misread it, or misunderstood. I'm wondering if Bruno somehow gave Lois cancer so that he could test things further. I don't know, man. I'm thinking I'm just kind of jumping the gun there. I don't think that's the case, but if it is, that's yikes. You would have had to pay off, I can't remember her name, but John's sister, or at the very least mess with the records, because she said she saw something, and then since then they're like giving her, while the treatment, they're like doing something else. Well, the treatment would still make her sick, so, which that was rough seeing. I hated seeing all of that. Would that mess up the story, or like sully the kind of how difficult this is, like dealing with cancer and the chances of coming out of it if it's not real? I could be just completely like tinfoil on this, tinfoil theory, but I don't know. I hope this. I'd like it if Lois wasn't sick, like she wasn't actually dead. She didn't actually have cancer. That would be great. I would assume. Well, Clark can see it. So I'm wondering if he's X-rayed and noticed it. Now that they have been alerted of the fact that she had cancer. So he's probably checked himself, because he checked. I always forget that the guy from that died last episode. He saw the tumors in him. So assuming he did it now. The kids having heard that, like, that they're that's man, that's like the worst. That's the most terrifying, and like you just feel so useless. There's nothing you can do, and I felt like, and okay, so it answered my question as to why, like, how they didn't have something that could heal like a human disease, something that they probably have the advanced technology to deal with. I was like, maybe they just, before I was just thinking, like, I guess maybe they just didn't have cancer, so they didn't have to deal with it, so they didn't create anything to deal with it. But it's the fact that she's human, so she may not survive the procedure. And not on top of that, which is a very difficult decision on Clark's end. the fact that it wouldn't be. I mean, it probably was also like Lois. He might have thought of it, and then Lois is just like, no, it's not. You know, it might have been her decision as well. If they were to use it on her, that it wouldn't be fair to keep it to themselves, but that giving Kryptonian technology to to the Earth could be detrimental. Could put people in danger. So, like, it's, man, that, it's just very, it's very, like, contrasting to Bruno. Like, Bruno saying, like, the fact that he was going at Clark is like, if there was anything you could do to save Lois, wouldn't you? He's like, you can't tell me that you wouldn't do anything. And if it would put, the entirety of the world at risk, in this instance, he wouldn't. I feel like I don't know. It's always a difficult decision when you're a hero and in a relationship of any kind, and you have to decide whether between saving your loved one, or not even a relationship, like just a loved one in general, like a sibling, parent, whatever, friend, choosing to save them or a large mass of people, just like that kind of a situation that they're always being put in. And this is a big one. It's like, I can't physically, I can't use my powers to save this person. I could have possibly used this technology though, but would that be fair? And just like, well, it's a very the sticky situation. Like, hey, we don't have to tell anybody. This could just be something that we do. This is just something that we keep to ourselves. But it's just like, that's, for someone like Clark, that's going to nag at him. If he has the means to save lives, that's what he does. He saves lives. If he has the means to continue to do that at a deeper level by removing cancer with Kryptonian technology, how can he not? Unless it puts, people in danger. Like, that could get in the wrong hands, and things that can be used to do more harm would become something vastly more possible, and they could kill Clark. So there's also that. So, it's just, yeah, it's rough. And to be put in that position as Clark, who has come to admit that he, for the first time not being able to protect Lois, it's daunting to him. And then there's this he has that he could use, but it's just like, there's a lot. Going real quick to like the Chrissy Kyle thing and Sarah and whatnot, and Lana. Like Sarah, I mean, I get it's gonna happen. Like, that happens a lot of times whenever your parents are split up and then one of them starts dating somebody else. You're gonna, sometimes, not always, but they're gonna, the kid's just gonna kind of lash out or just like not care for whoever your parent is dating at the time, and they're just gonna be very, well, douchey to them. 10 years isn't that much of a difference. Now, 20 years, that's, there's limits. But I feel like, 10 years isn't that bad. I mean, depending on the age that you are, obviously. Because if Kyle was, look, there's a range. But anyway, it was quickly-ish dealt with, whenever Chrissy showed up at the apartment, Sarah was still being Chrissy, and then Chrissy called her out on it, stuck up for herself, which I'm happy for. Proud, the right word? I'm glad that Chrissy stood up for herself. She should. She doesn't deserve to be treated like that. I mean, I know it sucks for Sarah to be in that position, but, Kyle deserves to be happy. Chrissy deserves to be happy. They're not hurting anybody. So, I mean, there wasn't, yeah, it's And then finding out that Chrissy is that she's a stoner, that she has I forgot what it's called, but the weed gummies. Is it CBD? Oh yeah, I don't know if that's right. And that she goes to Coachella, and then she's like kind of like now she's like the cool girlfriend kind of thing. I think that they're having now that they kind of getting past the fact that, oh, you're dating my dad after kind of enjoying each other's company. Then Lana's seeing that and was like, ugh, man, that's gonna be rough. It does seem that they're kind of they're kind of nudging John and Lana in a direction. Excuse me. Possibly. I mean, they may not, but I think they would make a cute couple. I think they both deserve to be happy. John, having lost his wife, and now Lois, kind of dealing with a lot of stress. And then, having to deal with the whole divorce. And, I mean, I know that it was her decision. But, maybe not move on right now. Because the fact that it might... I mean, she showed interest in him... Jesus. She showed interest in him before. So it's not like she's moving on to feel better about Kyle and Christy. So I don't know. If they go for it, then good for them. And then she can be there to help, make sure that John remains cool dad. But of course, being the protective dad when time demands it. Which I'm worried that might be soon because of Bruno. I love that we got to see Clark, his investigative reporter and his intuition, kind of picking at Bruno and then realizing that what he's doing was for this whole thing with the hospital is personal, and realizing that he's doing this to help somebody he cares for. So I kind of like that we were able to see, like, him and Lois. They're part of. Excuse me. Like, they're a great duo. Like, they're both intelligent investigative reporters. Her intuition might be stronger a lot of times, but he still has that as well, and he's able to kind of feel out the situation with Bruno. It's kind of different. Like when he went in as Superman, it was more like an aggressive, like, more forward approach. As when he came in as Clark, he was more acting as Clark, acting more apprehensive, kind of just when he was putting, he was like, yeah, okay, and just kind of being the way he portrays Clark, so that people don't put two and two together that he's Superman, in a way that almost gave him room to be a little more intuitive, more insightful. And hearing the way he was talking to him was like, would you not do anything to help your wife, just to protect, to save your wife? And him repeatedly kind of going at that is like, there's something going on here. You're not talking about Lois. We're not talking about my wife. We're talking about somebody you care about. So I just kind of like that we got more of that. We got to see Clark be an investigative reporter. Even though I know he's Superman, people like to see him being a Superman, which is understandable. But I like seeing that side of him, because we see him as Superman all the time. So it was cool seeing him do that. See that side of him. And it's just always fun seeing him be kind of like the dorky kind of, scared, apprehensive person that Clark pretends to be. Man, it's really hard seeing the boys have to... I mean, it's hard seeing Clark and Lois have to deal with it, but it's also hard seeing, how it's affecting other people. Like, the boys, like, they don't want to... It's their mom, And... I mean, I couldn't really blame necessarily Jonathan for acting out the way he was and getting on Clark and at the fortress when he kind of was it was pushing crossing the line when he was kind of basically insinuating that Clark wasn't doing everything he could, wasn't he didn't care as much. Jonathan's is an emotional state. He's scared he's gonna lose his mom, and it kind of addresses again like how it has been since the start of the series. He and his mom are more human than the other two. Lois is full on human. Jonathan is he is part Kryptonian, but it's just like that keeps that always in moments like in certain instances the notion that they aren't as invulnerable as his father and his brother. So it's just the fear, the real fear that he could lose his mom is very present. And I don't know, in a way it's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? The sense is almost heightened in a way for him because of the fact that he has two family members that are, oh my god, my eye, there's something in it, more that are immune to these kind of diseases. That's just like it would be nothing for them. Like it can't affect them. So yeah, that was kind of the kid did a good job. I am liking the actor they picked for Jonathan. I'm still I'm gonna miss the kid that played Alex. God dang it, man. I'm gonna but I think I've kind of gotten used to him already. He's done a really good job portraying Jonathan and the emotional scenes that the feeling of like these people are a family. I was gonna say something, I forgot what it was. Dang it. Oh, I thought it was just funny where he was like the White House. Like, does that even affect you? Nope, not even a little. Just like, I mean, he doesn't. I don't know if he even felt it like when he was younger. I mean, other powers came in. Like they said that it took 4 years for these abilities to come in. I think he said, near the end of last season. So I guess he's never felt, man. So wait, he doesn't know what he's missing though, really. Like he's seen people get affected by it, but he doesn't know how it feels. So maybe he should do is he should put on like a bracelet of blue kryptonite and just kind of go crazy one night. Gotta take some of the stress off that he's dealing with right now. Just have a night where he can just kind of, maybe not a good idea. Never mind. Maybe yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a good habit to just numb your feelings with alcohol. So never mind. Forget I said that. Again, the dangers of Natalie and them. Again, I'm pretty sure that they don't know Natalie is related to John Henry. He's never said his Nat's last name, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know where the rest of this is going. But again, Matthew Lex, I don't know what he's gonna bring to the table if he does show up, and I just don't know what we're gonna do with the Bruno onomatopoeia story right now. But I don't think it's ending because I mean, when he's still doing shady crap. So I mean, and he's probably still working on the cure. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that's it for this week's episode of Peia and Lois, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stick around for next week's episode, if you would like to stick around for next week's episode, please hit the subscribe button and I guess the bell icon to be notified whenever those go up. Get it out as soon as possible. Again, copyrights, son of a bitch.